What's going on, YouTube? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is your Sunday Sundown stream. This evening we will be chatting real quick. This is gonna be a short stream, so I want y'all to hurry up and come on in. Okay, tonight we have the much talked about audio between NETER and SEKHMET. I have titled it the SEKHMET slurping audio because that's what it sounds like. Now we all know that Frank had other things in mind, other ideas in mind, insinuating certain things that the sister was doing behind the scenes. So we're going to go into that. And briefly, we're going to go in to yet again this McHustler, this McGrasper at straws, rearing his ugly head again, trying to bang on NETER, trying to steal our narrative from over here. We thought you stopped banging on NETER. Remember, we heard the audio. And just because you ran your mouth again about him, we're going to hear it again tonight. So I know it's a little late for the typical sundown stream, Sunday sundown stream. I was going to call it NETER Sunday, but I would have made him feel a little too important. Also, for a brief second, we will be chatting it up about this whole Malachi Z. York situation with him supposed to be moving to whatever penitentiary or jail that they want to come move him to. Nobody really knows what the fuck's going on with that. All we do know is that Prince York is just as full of shit as his father. So let's get in.
Come here. Where's the bathroom? Memphis. Oh, use the bathroom.
Right here, guys. This slurping that you hear in the background, all this noise, this is supposedly what NETER is saying, that the sister, insinuating that the sister is giving head. Now, we're going to go into why an old man, first off, of his stature would say such a thing. But we're going to listen again. You know, maybe there's something in here for us to hear. I've listened to it a couple times, and honestly, there's nothing in here, you know, that says without a shadow of a doubt that this is what this sister was doing. You know what I'm saying? So peace, peace, everybody. Come on in. Y'all share the live stream for me because I didn't get a chance to do it. This was a kind of an impromptu thing because I was about to watch a movie and go back to sleep. So, but I just wanted to get this out real quick. Yes. This is the NETER SEKHMET audio that he calls holding over her head, so to speak. This is what happens when you cross Frankie. He gets upset, especially when you're close to him. That's why I don't get close to him, because he can't pull out damaging audio about me and him being secret friends and shit. But anyway, I digress. This audio you're listening to right now is the famed SEKHMET audio that NETER had deleted. Okay, he deleted the video. I think it was Friday or Thursday or Friday. He deleted the video. But this is the video right here in which he was blackmailing SEKHMET into silence now that it appears that her and Sci-Fi have gone their own ways away from NETER. So again, let's take a listen.
Come here. Use the bathroom.
Now it seems that she's telling someone to use the. She's obviously engaged in some sort of activity. Whether we don't know what she's doing. For all we know, she could be eating a pickle.
Memphis. Go use the bathroom.
Now, after she instructs, it appears to be a child, to go ahead and use the restroom or something. It appears as though she is yelling from a closed room. Now, we've all been there before. You know, we're all adults. So we've all been there and had to, you know, stop what we were doing and tell our kids, hey, it's in the kitchen. Get the fuck away from my door, type shit. But nevertheless, we don't know for sure, but we'll take a listen. Again, we cannot tell exactly what is going on, but this audio is what NETER took and turned into some sort of SEKHMET sort of audio, allegedly. Now, let me say this again before we continue any further and play the rest of this audio. This is fair use. All this audio is public. It's open on all social media platforms. As a matter of fact, I didn't even get this information from YouTube. So there you go. So this is open audio. It's all over Facebook and other social media platforms. And this is just a critique of the open audio that Filthy Frank is using against SEKHMET, because apparently SEKHMET doesn't want to play with him anymore. Now, I must say, whatever SEKHMET is slurping on, she's doing it for an awful long time. Now, again, that does not translate into actual, you know, what NETER is trying to say she was doing. But whatever it is she's doing it for a while. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have just stepped in, this is the SEKHMET supposed sexual act caught on back channel audio that's been floating around all weekend. We've been hearing about it. We're here at Derek Jones Talks Live. We have our hands on the actual audio, which you're listening to now. Now, if she is doing what NETER said, and yes, NETER did post a video as back chat, so he was already laying the groundwork to basically call this woman a slut, some sort of some sort of back page prostitute type thing going on here. Well, I don't know. Maybe she was just a desperate cougar or whatever. But something's going on back there. Now, let me pause for a second. Again, something's going on, which is none of our business. Now, I know SEKHMET can be a little vicious and rough. I know SEKHMET can sometimes remind you of, well, a man and not necessarily a woman. But she still is a woman. And the fact that she's a woman, she probably has itches that need to be scratched. Those things are none of the business of ours. But the point of this stream, so I want it to be known, it's not necessarily what you're doing, SEKHMET. No. That's not why we're doing this. We're doing this because we want to know, and we want to show. First, we want to show, then we're going to ask the question. We want to show eating watermelon, maybe a pickle, who knows? But what we want to show, what up, Wax Posh? What we want to show is this. Not what is SEKHMET actually doing for this long period of time back there slurping and continuously making slurp sounds. We're not, that's none of our business. What we're talking about is the actual motherfucker who recorded this shit and put this shit out on YouTube. And not only did he put it out on YouTube, he put it out and entitled it Back Chat, or Back Page, whatever the fuck he did. So he purposely set this up to look and to degrade, to look like it was something that it may not have been at all. That could, if she was engaged in some sort of sexual act, that could have been her boyfriend or her fucking little boo get together thing. We've all had one. But that's not the point. We're focusing on the individual who brought this to light. Who's ever supposedly receiving it, he's awfully quiet. Because I'll tell you, I'm never that quiet. Ain't that right, baby? Lady, my lady is joining me tonight. She's not joining me, but she's actually in here while I'm doing the stream, which is a first. But she has her sleeping eye things that cover your eyes, or so she's probably on her way out of here. But she was interested in the SEKHMET slurping audio as well. Like, what is this slurping audio? Everybody said, hey, baby. Okay, guys, we got 30 seconds left in the slurping audio. It got real quiet, but you can still hear it in the distance. There's something going on in this room. She had been to 7-Eleven. Okay, Triple C said if she had pearls, she'd clutch them. Trinity says SEKHMET needs to be more respectable, like sci-fi. That cougar con, she's rubbing all on niggas. Baby, putting her hair all over you. No lie, we all know those old woman tricks. All right, guys.
Come here. Use the bathroom. Memphis. Oh, use the bathroom.
SEKHMET. That sounds bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right there. Okay, well, that's enough of that, guys. Maybe if the room gets larger than we are now, at least by double what it is, which it shouldn't, because I'm not even gonna be on this long. But maybe we'll play it again just for the people who just come in. Now everyone here has actually heard it. This audio right here that you just heard. It was taken by NETER, or excuse me, used by NETER as some sort of threat to SEKHMET. Now I want you guys to know this is how NETER treats women for real. Like, we've been through this shit with the Melanin Sutek thing, when he was calling Melanin Sutek a thought and saying that everybody ran a train on her through the conscious community. Now, this is not something Derrick Jones Talks Live is saying. This is something that NETER and Melanin Sutek as well, Melanin Sutek said. So this is not something I'm saying. I'm just repeating what was already said. Anyway, NETER allegedly told everyone on a live stream how Melanin Sutek was a thought and that most of the brothers in the conscious community had already ran through her. So why did he say this? Because Melanin Sutek went somewhere else and gave a like on a video probably done by Young Pharaoh or someone like that, was in their chat. And NETER takes offense to things like that, like any petty ass old black man would do. Take offense to something that has nothing to do with him. And that's what happened. And then instead of addressing the sister and asking her what was going on, no. He chose to go to his car and do a live stream in which he called her a thought and said that she was a jump off, etc. Not giving a fuck whether she actually had children or not. And I'm sure you know, we all know that she does, and she has daughters as a point of fact. And I think they're upwards towards the teenage years, so it means, of course, they're all over social media. And then their mother is somewhat of a social media, not celebrity, but she's known, someone who's known on social media, because most people have heard of Melanin Sutek. If you don't even know her, you've heard of her. So this is what happens, and this individual gets mad and goes on, social media and tells everybody that she's a jump off. He doesn't provide facts and evidence that she's a jump off. Not to mention what kind of this is the same person. What up, D? This is the same person who gets mad when you start addressing the bullshit that he's doing, especially saying, y'all grown people, why y'all worried about what NETER did with his such and such, and the shit that he says. Well, nigga, you're a grown ass nigga. Why the fuck, if SEKHMET was giving some sex neck, why do you care? Why would you record that shit and put that shit on YouTube? Then not only did you put it on YouTube, you didn't even have enough balls to just leave it up there and ride off what you did. Like, yo, this is what I did, this is what I said. No. In typical NETER fashion, you try to throw rocks and hide your hands. So you threw the rock and then you snatch the video down, probably snatched it down before she had a chance to actually see it, so that you could use plausible deniability just like you always do. He checked, okay, he checkmated the shit. When did this happen? Trinity, you must reveal that. Because I've been saying that shit for a long time. That side that hates you, Michael Edwards. He only uses you because you was threatening to call the FBI on him and making all the videos about how much money he made. Like, he don't give a fuck about you. That's why when you do live streams, he doesn't even come over there. He doesn't give a fuck about your live stream. I went to one of your live streams the other day. It had like 6 people in there, and 4 of the people were banging on you. So I don't even understand. I already know. Like, and this is another thing about these guys that I keep not understanding. Remember we talked about this shit before? Like, yo, how do I have a page like Shame TV 2 who has like what 120 subscribers, and I'll do a live stream and that shit have like 40 people in there, and then you niggas supposedly have 500 and 600 and 400 subscribers, and you can't even keep 11 people in there. And then when you do have 11 people in there, 7 of them are banging on you the whole time. And just like, remember when Michael Edwards put up that live stream and before he even started, he had like 22 dislikes? So fucking pathetic. Oh man, they called him the bug-eyed nigga. That means it's catch and hold. See, Michael Edwards, I told you stop playing with me. Now everybody's taking my info and using it against you. They've noticed your obesity, that you're suffering from stage 4 obesity, and they are now using it against you. Now, sorry, bitch ass. Yeah, it's his nature. It's what he does. That's what I said before. It's like, I'm not even done. I was just talking about SEKHMET. We ain't even started on everybody else that he's done this to. Like, remember the fucking live stream that the nigga did when he was telling all the women that fuck them, they only like young Pharaoh because they want to suck his dick? Like, why would you say that shit? Nigga, it was probably like 17-year-old girls, 19-year-old girls in there. You talking about something, they only like them because they want to suck his dick. Like, why would you say that shit? That's why I said this shit is not surprising at all, but we're just going to point that shit out for those of you who did just come in. Instead of just saying SEKHMET is in the back or something, no, Sonetta turns it into a pickle. It feels so good with that window.
Come here. Use the bathroom.
She's kicking someone out.
Memphis.
Or keeping them away from her.
Oh, use the bathroom.
We all know that voice. That just sounds weird. Now, as weird as it may sound, yeah, he does, Norma. As weird as it may sound, that's her fucking visual. I think that he's jealous. You know what it is, SEKHMET? He wishes he was the one over there with you. I think that's what's going on, man. You didn't give that old man enough attention. But let me go on, I'm going to pause in a second. We're going to go on a serious note and try to uncover how this happened. Now, word around the YouTube campfires is that this situation with Sonetta and SEKHMET has 2 different storylines. One storyline is, yeah, I don't know, Snap. That's why I said, God damn, SEKHMET, like, I don't know what else you could have been doing. But it doesn't matter because as a grown man, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's wonderful. If it wasn't for women like her, this world would be a rough, fast place. Just imagine the wars and the fighting that we would be going through, brothers. Like if it wasn't for sisters like that. So I'm not knocking you, SEKHMET. Like not by any stretch of the imagination. Trust me. I don't think there's anything wrong with what you were doing. I think you were being if you were doing something in that nature, you were just being an adult and having a good time. That's what is called sometimes a good time. So we're not gonna, we're not gonna worry about that part of it. But what I'm actually saying is this. There's two storylines that go along with what supposedly was happening. Number one story was SEKHMET got angry at NETER because of a supposed Lex Vortex connection, meaning NETER had Lex back on his show. I didn't catch this. I didn't hear this. This is just something that, I didn't hear or see Lex on his show again. But I heard that NETER had reached out to him and to have Lex come back into his fold or try to get him back into his fold or whatever. Whether it worked out or not, I don't think so. But the point is that he tried, or Lex was on the show. So this apparently made Empress SEKHMET angry. And I guess this is what, the fallout was. She had a falling out with NETER, and then I guess he started banging on her because they had a fallout. Now, the second story I heard was that, this story sounds a lot more believable. The second story I heard was that SEKHMET and Sci-Fi, the Cougar Con, went out and were venturing out on other pages, like, just going to other chats and this, that, and the third. And we all know how much Frankie hates that shit. We all know how much he gets mad, nigga, if you got the nerve to call yourself a part. If you got a wrench in his chat, he's just as bad as GILLZ. You had better not go to anyone else's chat without his permission. So anyway, Sci-Fi and SEKHMET were venturing out on their YouTube own, taking advantage of a free public platform for anybody, the nerve of them to think that they could just go to a free public platform and browse around. I don't know where they got their balls. But anyway, this is apparently what they did. And NETER took offense to this shit. So much that they had a big falling out. And right after the falling out, this is what we get. Right after they had a falling out, SEKHMET appears on social media, and the title of the video is Back Chat. Courtesy of
Come here.
NETER.
Use the bathroom. Memphis. Go use the bathroom.
And action. That's what I think, Wax. He mad as shit right now. It calms down for a while. Now, mind you, people, he could have just left this alone. He could have just, hey, I heard it, went on about my business. That means he sat there at that fucking demon desk and put all this together. She seems to be choking or something. It's the same thing they said about Melanin Sutek, though. That's where he works, the demon desk. And he conjures this shit up. Like he's over there now trying to cover up the fact that the Apollo doesn't take payments that you have to pay up front for the event. And this nigga went on live talking about he made the first payment. And what payment? What are you talking about? We call the Apollo, dumbass. They don't take payments. They said you gotta have that shit. You gotta book the event. So the event gotta be booked. You can't finish paying for it 3 days before the goddamn show. This ain't janky promoters, nigga. This nigga SUNDOWN is a janky promoter. It will not be in Harlem. The show will now be in Modesto, California. Okay, SEKHMET, that's enough. So this audio was the famed SEKHMET slurping audio. There's nothing to it, people. Nothing much to it if you actually listen to this shit. Nothing that we should be concerning ourselves about. No, he's not gonna play a snap because he took it down. That's the they, and whoever found this and whoever had the wherewithal to actually record it at that moment, you know, that was kudos to you. Kudos to you. Because this is something we would not have had without you. This is something that would not really be floating around too much, you know, as much as it would have if he had left it up. And he knows what would have happened if he had left it up. Somebody looking for you, SEKHMET. They want to get plugged in. Like I said, I'm not mad at her. Like, who the fuck am I to be mad at her? I'm not mad at any of this shit. Some of this shit is just funny, man, at the end of the day. Like, when I start dealing with this dude, more than anything, SUNDOWN, you're fucking hilarious, yo. Like, and I do laugh sometimes, you know. The shit he does, you know. The shit he does. And it's like, the whole thing, the second story with Sci-Fi and SEKHMET going out to different channels and presenting themselves to people, basically broaden their own horizons. That shit like that pisses them off for real. Like most homo punk ass gay dudes, like they get mad when their girl like moves around without them being right there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's odd to me. It's obvious because I be around real niggas and none of us give fuck where the fuck our girl go. Like nigga, I'm not worried about where she going. Nigga, I know where she's gonna end up because she ends up here every night. So like when you running around worried about it to that point, banging on her. Just imagine me being mad at my lady and we split up and I go on Facebook and bang on her and and play audio of the many times that we've been together sexually and all that. Come on now, like who really looks like a fool there? Who looks like a fool? And then not to mention the fact that Nigga, this woman has nothing, whatever she's doing, nigga, that has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that had nothing to do with you. And the fact that you would do this is telling about you. So I don't want anyone to miss that point. Everyone, you know, people, a lot of times people hear things and they don't get the intent of the message. And the intent of the message is not SEKHMET. I mean, SEKHMET. Like, that's not the intent. Though it was entertaining, SEKHMET. But you got a future, kid. But anyway, that's just a joke. Please, it's just a joke. But the intent of the video was for you to realize that this person, again, involved in some fuckery. Why are you? This is a person who just touted himself, what was it, 4 days ago or 5 days ago, as an activist. He told the police department that he was an activist, a powerful activist, excuse me, not just an activist. He was a powerful activist. That's what he said. So this is what nearly 60-year-old powerful activists in our community do. They record audio of a sister doing whatever the fuck she's doing in her privacy, which she probably accidentally didn't know she was private, which is her own fault. But at the same time, nigga, being in a situation that you could have covered that shit and crushed it right there, nobody would have ever known that shit. Nobody would have ever known this shit if it wasn't for who? NETER. We had a dude come on this nigga's show, NETER's show, and fucking call. He's a former FBI agent, and he starts going in and explaining to everybody on live YouTube TV how Michael Edwards is a fucking agent, and the things that he does, how he's an agent, and he's engaged in all this type of shit. We would have not heard that shit if we had not heard it where? That's right, from NETER. He's involved in everything. Who informed us that Polite really was a liar and could not be trusted and didn't have a truthful bone in his body, and that everything he said to y'all was a lie? Where did we get that from? To start realizing that Polite was full of shit and 93.8% of the shit he was saying was absolutely untrue. Where'd that happen? Who did Q Butter say he reached out to this nigga and was on to do a show with him and this, that, and the third, and the next thing you know, he's getting contacted by task force and shit. Fucking son. When that California crumb got pulled out of the gutter by the fraud department and dressed up, and they put a new, you know, washed his face and put him on YouTube TV as the face of the fraud department. What happened? Who turned him to the dark side? You know what I'm saying? That old Sith, Frankie. That old Sith Lord. Who was behind bringing him down, nigga? That old fucking Sith Lord. We all knew that GILLZ was a fraud when we started saying this shit. All we needed was proof, right? Where'd we get the proof from? That's right, fucking NETER. Derrick Jones Talks Live. This is our standard 30-second break. We will be right back. Okay, welcome back to the Derek Jones Talks Live show and my announcer voice. Yeah, some of you and my announcer voice. All right, guys, my 40 minutes is up, so we got to get ready to close out. But while closing out, we're going to switch gears to one-on-one with the McSTRAW grasper. I'd like you all to go to his page, if you will. There you'll see who channels that he supports and he's sub to. NETER Studios is right there, number 3. While he was just trying to bang on NETER the other day, like a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to take people's narratives. Derek Jones Talks Live brings out the scamming Boyce Watkins and starts pushing the issue. Next thing you know, here he goes, sucking it up, copying. Whoa, Brother Polite lying about lying. Timeline not adding up. I thought you said you were done banging on Polite and them. Didn't you say that? You want me to play the audio? Are you saying it? Here we go again. Brother Polite again. Why, Kev? I thought you said you were done banging on these guys. Young Pharaoh and Kev GILLZ destroyed Brother Polite. That must be that old shit from last year. It probably is. Young Pharaoh, don't fall for that shit. I've got some audio you might want to hear from around that time last year about how somebody really feels on you. You said when I get him, if SEKHMET shouldn't be angry with me, I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't call SEKHMET names. I didn't imply that she was something. You know what I'm saying? Like here at Derek Jones Talks Live, we just take public and open audio and information, and we just talk about it. We critique the shit live. That's it, SEKHMET. And we heard the audio. Would you like me to play it again? No, I'm not gonna play it. But we heard the audio, and some people in the chat were very appalled that NETER would do such a thing, that he would take that audio and try to make it look like you were some sort of back alley Sully or some shit, or like, no, and I don't think that way anyway about that anyway. I'm not like that. Like, everyone likes having sex, so you're a grown woman. Why would you not want to? The fuck? I would think you were weird if you were running around and saying that you were celibate, like Umar Johnson. That was the weirdest shit I ever heard a man say. Like, what man don't want no butt? The fuck? This nigga's weird as hell. I don't give a fuck how spiritual I'll be. I'm not saying that shit. I'm still getting some. Like, really? So, you know, I don't understand why SEKHMET would be angry. SEKHMET, you should be angry with the person who put this shit up, because that's who I'm angry with. That's who this video is focused at. The video is not focused at you. The video is focused at him. Why would you entitle something back page, which I'm not gonna, I didn't put that in the chat, excuse me, in the title or anything. So that's what he did. Yeah. McDesperate as fuck, yes. And staying on the switch gears back to the McJacker, going in that safe and taking people's shows again. Young Pharaoh need to, and for Young Pharaoh fans on Derek Jones, this is on this one, Widow. Shame TV 2. You can find that video, the audio about how Kev GILLZ really feels about Young Pharaoh. And it's not a misunderstanding. You'll see that it's not some minor misunderstanding why they were apart. I detail and show how around the time when this was happening, Kev GILLZ was taking Sonnetta's side, but we all didn't really realize it at the time. You know, that's why he was banging on you like he was. He wasn't banging on you because he was looking at you as some sort of associate of Sonnetta and Polite. Everyone knew that you didn't fuck with Polite and that Polite didn't like you. So, and we knew that Sonnetta didn't like you or was just trying to use you and bring you a part of his show. So we all knew what was going on. So Kev GILLZ, the way he was feeling about you, he really felt that way. Like I said, when I first encountered him, it was because he made a video saying that you were showing in a rap video that you killed somebody. And I was like, yo, that is not what that shit say. And not to mention, that's not what that says. How the fuck, why are you talking about that? Like, nigga, that's real going to jail type shit. And I don't think that's for YouTube. So that's why I don't talk about motherfuckers going to jail, even right now, with Sonnetta being watched by the IRS and everyone else, which is just my opinion. Like I hope you get away, nigga. I hope you got an underground tunnel or something in your in that brownstone out there in Harlem, so they don't get you, you know. But you need to don't put that event on. Just stop doing it. Stop writing checks for $9,000 right under the FBI watch limit. They're not stupid. They know what you're doing. And then you're, like I said, you're making videos about gators you're buying from some Arab, and like, nigga, you're retarded. This is the fucking retarded ass old man. But yeah, if you go over to his show, you'll see that he's constantly bringing up Polite, trying to talk about Sonnetta, stealing other people's narratives about Boyce Watkins. You don't know shit about Boyce Watkins. Boyce Watkins is you know about quantum mechanics. Fucking retard. Once again, grasping at straws. I'll let you know right here openly tonight before we close off. We don't want you over here trying to jump in our fight. We got it. You know, you've already said what you said. You've already told the world that you and told Sonnetta, you know what I'm saying, when he was scolding you about being on drugs. You let that nigga talk to you like that. That's some crazy shit. I'm never going to forget that shit. You let Sonnetta's weird ass like talk down to you and shit. You a fucking clown. But yeah, when he was scolding you about being on drugs and shit, we heard how you really felt, how you didn't want to bang on him, and how you specifically said that he's not scamming people. So why are you doing it now? Address that fucking audio about you saying that shit. So we're gonna need a lot of that shit answered before you even think about making fucking videos about that nigga without it being mentioned over here. Like, why are you doing that? So I'm taking it easy on you tonight because it's the end of my stream. But tomorrow morning on the Morning Yard stream, we will be going extra hard on this flip-flopping scammer, this scam artist, this person who straight drop better watch out for because he is straight watching his drop and how far he can drop it. Definitely watch out.
We can see that shit. You should have kept that shit local and stayed up in your little gymnasium, bro. Because now I'm gonna kill somebody. Young Pharaoh did the whole commentary with no shirt on. Let you know he's appealing to only these dumb ass black women who's sitting up there in his comics talking about, yeah, just y'all take it off. That's who they're appealing to. Black people. Young Pharaoh can't make you no money. Young Pharaoh can't teach you about no business, no real power. Because if you go and Young Pharaoh, somebody gonna beat the shit out of you, bro. Film that shit, be like world star. You remember Young
Pharaoh?
Pharaoh?
That nigga said you gonna get world star.
On
I can't get over that.
Y'all niggas up because y'all doing too much of this and not enough work. Y'all not holding no leg or sense that you made 10 years ago. And Young Pharaoh, you have no information that's
especially you.
You are naming none of your sources. So if you're trying to say that what you're saying is authentic, you came up with this shit by yourself. I hope not.
In the chat, shout out my nigga Young Pharaoh came through and fucked with your boy. We fucked with you too.
Now, to these niggas, yeah.
Right. You need some young intellectuals with some style, you know, and whatever happened with Young Pharaoh, you know how business is, you know how this shit is, shit goes wrong. But yeah.
You know how this shit is, Young Pharaoh. Whatever happened with you.
Whatever the right way, whatever the case is, but that's the type of story you need. R&B, you know, somebody who believes in themselves to that magnitude. Right. That's what's up, man.
See, Pharaoh, this is why he was saying what he was saying about you back then. Because he was really trying to fuck with Sinetta the whole time. This is crazy. And now he's trying to bang on Sinetta. Don't take my narrative. I talked to Dizzy. He said, you're not allowed to take my narrative. I mean, we're the last ones standing over here. You decided to join the dark side. Remember, Sarnetta offered you the couch.
Yo, I'm telling you, Kev, when you see this shit go down, don't get high, nigga, and start banging on my shit. Don't get high and bang on me, nigga. Because that's what y'all asses get doing. I'm telling you, you gonna wish you was a part of it. With your shit, that shit that you doing right there, I ain't fucking with that shit. That's shit. Yeah, man, because that nigga Lame TV, he already made a video. Little things like I'm a talk more in that and let the people know on his end. Like that's what you do. Yeah, like I ain't nobody worried about that. You ain't scamming nobody. Hell no. I just get the BG has link and we can put on the great performance.